panoramic view here in Southgate. We have a beauty tonight in the Eastern League. The Southgate Rams against the host Legacy Tigers. That's Tigers Stadium below, and this should be a good game for the Tigers and the Rams. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play. This is Chuck Price. We think we have an outstanding game for you, a rivalry game. Two teams with identical records, 3-2, both hungry for victories in the Eastern League. Both squads do it a little bit differently, Chuck. We got one team that likes to throw, the Rams. The Tigers like to run the ball.
I really enjoy watching both of these teams play. Contrasting styles, but it all comes down to defense. Whichever team tonight really can move the chains, keep the clock going, play defense, that's where it's going to be won.
When you talk about Ram football, it's not just Stafford, the quarterback. In this case, it's another gentleman who's very good. Talk about Stafford of the Rams, but this is a great player in Michael Gonzalez. Number one, he's hitting 60% of his passes.
He's a great young quarterback. In a school that gets lost, in a league that gets lost, he's one of the more unheralded quarterbacks. Does a great job leading his team. 15
touches, 5 interceptions on the year. The 15 touchdowns, one of the great numbers in the city section. On the other side, J-Rod. We like him. Jaden Rodriguez. What a running back he is. What an interesting story he is.
He's a great running back in a league that's got 4 or 5 really special running backs. None of them quite like Mike Garrett from the Eastern League, but he can go.
Mike Garrett was at Roosevelt in his heyday, later on to SC and into the pros. Should be a good ball game. We think it's going to be a tight one here in Southgate, California at Legacy High School. Tonight's LA City Section Football Game of the Week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly. Serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports medicine and chiropractic. 818-508-6188. Cisco Saldana is the head coach of the Rams in his 3rd year. On the flip side, Mario Ibarra. He's in his 2nd year here at Legacy. Legacy's going to get the football. They're in the dark uniforms. The Rams kicking off in the white.
Well, last week's game, Randy, we saw a lot of kicks go out of bounds. It's a great start if this one ends up in the field of play. But I never want to underestimate the value special teams will play this season for the teams that go far.
Jose Ocampo is about to kick it off for Southgate. Also a running back, 5'9", 175-pound senior. So Ocampo will get the game underway. I love the fact that it's midway through the season. We got a big rivalry game here. This is fun stuff. Love this intimate setting, too, here at Legacy High School. School's about 13 years old, and they have about 1,300 students. And it is a very intimate setting. Fans packed in here, small stadium, and we're about ready to kick off. See a little bit antsy. They're waiting. They want to go.
Well, when we were talking to Coach Ibarra before the game from Legacy, these schools are less than a mile apart. These kids have known each other for their whole life. This is really a truest sense of a rivalry game.
Again, we're going to get to see Jason Rodriguez on the first series of downs. We mentioned he's an interesting story. He went to Southgate, transferred to Legacy, and he's their star player. Here we are underway, and an opportunity early on as it's taken back up the field. And it'll be the first possession of the game for Legacy High School.
Yeah, he had a tough time fielding that. Southgate did a really nice job coming downfield. Every one of those kids stayed in their lanes, and, you know, when you can play that kind of disciplined football, that's a good start for the Rams.
Here are the Rams in white. Outstanding team. Buried Roosevelt in their only Eastern League game. They scored 54 points in that contest. Legacy's 0-1 in the league, losing to the top-rated team in the league, the Garfield Bulldogs.
It's a pretty underestimated league from top to bottom. Very, very tough, good blue-collar football teams. And Garfield, at the top of this league, is one of the best in the city every year.
Opportunity to take a look at Jaden Camacho, number 7, is the quarterback. Very talented young man, dual threat. A little bit of a hold-up here to start the game. There's our lead official, and I know you know him well.
Well, no, most of these officials on a first-name basis, but he's one of the best.
Tim Cage.
Yeah, he's really the lead guy for the LA unit. He's as good as they get controlling the game, the sidelines, and really understands what it takes to be that type of quality white hat.
I don't really know what they're waiting for, but we'll be patient. We'll wait. While we have the time, we can give you the key performers for the Tigers. There they are. Michael Smith on defense, the linebacker, is sensational. He averages close to his number, just under 10 tackles a game for Michael Smith. I believe this is an equipment issue, and we're waiting for that to be remedied, and apparently we are finally ready to go. Camacho out of the gun. Rodriguez, and he stormed under. That was a terrific penetration up front for the Rams. Really a great push. And if Southgate can get that kind of push, they're going to be tough tonight. Kyle Ribeiro made the tackle.
For a team that likes to run the ball 70% of the time, you really want to see yourselves do a little better than 1 yard on first down. Southgate's stout in the middle.
They really are. And we'll go over their key guys as well. 2nd down 9. See first 40 seconds of action in this rivalry game. One of the things Legacy thought they could do tonight is be physical and run the football.
Linebackers really come up and stuff, take on lead blockers, not giving these running backs any lane at all. That's really nice defense.
2 plays, 2 runs for Jaden Rodriguez. And a little bit of a crease there.
A little bit of a crease. He might have missed it. Really like that linebacker coming up and taking on that lead blocker and forcing Rodriguez to go out of the natural hole.
3rd down and 6 to go for the Tigers of Legacy. I love the fact they got the names on the uniforms. They brought out the good unis tonight for their rivalry matchup.
Makes it easy on us, that's for sure.
See if Camacho elects to go up top. Nope, they'll stay on the ground. Rodriguez with a hard run. Beautiful job by Jaden Rodriguez. You had to love the effort. Carlos Santana, one of the leading tacklers, number 13, stopped him.
Yeah, that's a lot of confidence if you're Legacy to run the ball on 3rd and long against a 9-man box. They really did a nice job. Taking it outside was a great read on the running back.
You got to think it's an emotional game. I mean, coming back to play against his old team is Jason Rodriguez, and on the other side, these Southgate defenders know he transferred away from them. So they're fired up about the opportunity to go against their old teammate. That time, the defense too tight on the quarterback, trying to run outside Camacho. And again, 13, we're going to call his name a lot tonight, Carlos Santana.
Southgate really doesn't see Legacy as a threat at this point to throw the ball. Second play in a row, they've got 9 right there in the box.
Well, they played 4 from scrimmage, and they've all been runs.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a crease out there. That corner really came in at the last minute and made a play. Good fill by the inside linebacker getting to the sidelines to help on that tackle.
Southgate big up front. 57, Joshua Sanchez, well over 200 pounds. 2nd down and long. They still keep it on the ground. Rodriguez, his 4th carry already, helped him get a first down on the first series of downs. There's no question they're going to feed that young man, number 5, Rodriguez.
If you can ground it out and pick up first downs, even if it's 3rd and 8 every single time, it really doesn't matter. That's why they give you 3 downs, 4 downs to get those 10 yards. I think they're probably happy with the clock that they're eating, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to the air here at 3rd and 8.
Jason Rodriguez averages 114 yards a game, 570 yards on the campaign, 5.5 average, 3rd and 11. Camacho's first throw for the other Rodriguez. Knocked away beautifully. What a great defensive effort by Joshua Navarro, number 5.
Yeah, that was a one-man pattern. They were going for it all. They kept everybody else in the block, and, not a bad throw, but just missed.
Excellent man-for-man coverage. He was blanketed.
Yeah, that really was textbook. He turned, played the ball. He was inside the hip pocket. That's where you want that corner to be.
Rams figure to get great field position here. Glad you're with us on LA36. The punt, low line drive kick. Fonseca doesn't field it back away from the ball. Number 2 is dynamic. We talked a lot about Michael Gonzalez, but number 2, Fonseca, is a big play guy, wide receiver and DB, who is tremendous for Southgate.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily kicked away from him, but that low kick and the bounces that it took kept it out of his hands.
Our first look at the brilliant quarterback, Michael Gonzalez. And he does have Fonseca on the flanks, number 2. In fact, it's number 2 against number 2, Daniel Baca, on defense for Legacy. They flip it off to Thomas Gutierrez. And Gutierrez with a nice gain, and he's on his feet down the sideline. A big chunk play for the Rams.
They ran out of an empty formation. They took that wing back and sent him back inside, shoveled him the ball, and that was unexpected on Legacy's part. They gave him a lot of running room.
Gutierrez has a couple touchdowns this year. There's their key players. They love Nicholas Fonseca. They just talk about him all the time. We've already seen Carlos Santana with a couple stops on defense. Early on, the Rams have gotten the ball, and they are starting to drive. 7:30 left, opening quarter. We are scoreless at Legacy High School in Southgate. To the air, the deep one. Incomplete. Wanted Fonseca on the deep post.
Well, again, nobody in the backfield. They've spread them out 5 wide, really trying to take advantage of their speed. It looks like they're attacking against a 3 deep zone, and that safety didn't move. He was right where he needed to be.
Anthony Lewis, another fleet-footed wideout. Where's number 6? He's the guy who averages 18 yards a catch. So look for number 6 to be prominently displayed. Double counter reverse, and Fonseca is thrown for a loss, and it's Michael Smith, the brilliant linebacker.
Yeah, they tried a little bit of a trickery in there with that inside reverse handoff, but the end stays at home and does a really nice job waiting for it.
Michael Smith, I mentioned him. He's averaging just about 10 tackles a game. He's relentless. They love this guy. Tough, fast, makes the play here. 3rd and 14, and a flag is out.
It looks like 3rd and 9 now.
Dead ball, offside on the defense, 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
And you hit it on the head, Chuck. It's 3rd and 9, and with this trigger man, this quarterback, Michael Gonzalez, he's certainly capable of picking up the 3rd and long, but they're going to stay with the quick passing game. That's a good one to Quintonia. Quintonia is on his way. Still going. Near the goal line. Nicholas Quintonia.
Really nice play action there by the quarterback. Froze the linebacker, gave that slant plenty of room to work. And then Quintonia just after the catch, really nifty moves. He worked his way all the way across the field on that. But that play action did a great job freezing the linebacker on that slant.
And that was some pass from Gonzalez. Quintonia is slippery, tough to tackle. They have the 2 Nicks, Nicholas Fonseca and Nicholas Quintonia, on the flanks. And they snap it directly to Leo Ramirez, the big back. Leo didn't quite get there. That was well defended, but Ramirez is a big physical guy. 3 years as starter, 4 years in the program. A big hitter on defense, and they like his physicality in the short yardage situations.
Yeah, he lowers his shoulder and moves. The thing about that defense for Legacy is you're on the goal line, so it's hard to block 9 with 7.
Second and a couple for a touchdown. Gonzalez, he's in. Michael Gonzalez, the junior quarterback, has the first touchdown of the night.
Yeah, and unlike the previous play, they put a back in motion. He takes a linebacker with him when he goes in motion, and now the quarterback runs behind a lead blocker. A little bit different. Great little call and scheme there by Southgate.
Looks like they're going to stay with their offense on the field and go for 2. Why not? It's a dynamic offensive unit. Gonzalez again calling his own number, and then throws it late and incomplete.
Surprised he didn't have a couple linemen ineligible downfield. It looked like a design run to me.
They threw that late to Gutierrez. It fails. It's a 6-0 game. And the touchdown right up the gut for number 1, quarterback Michael Gonzalez.
Exciting to see what transpires this season in the Eastern League. A lot of talent, a lot of balance, a lot of good coaching.
Again, this Southgate team is coming off a performance where they scored 54 against Roseville.
The scores in the Eastern League year after year are really baffling. Until you put eyes on these teams, you just don't know. So much competitive balance that the games are 7-0, and like you said, 54-50. They can score at a moment's no one's noticed.
You were close. It was 54-44 in that victory for Southgate over Roosevelt. Southgate obviously has aspirations of winning the Eastern League. They're 1-0. Legacy 0-1 with the setback to Garfield. But again, Garfield is the favored team in the league as Jose Ocampo ready to kick off once again. The senior advancing on the ball. Rodriguez trying to bring it back. That's Joseph Rodriguez. And he doesn't go very far, does he?
No, the scheme on that kickoff I really like. The special teams program at Southgate identifies where really Legacy has holes on their kickoff return, and they attack them. I wouldn't be surprised to see them get some onside kicks this year, if not tonight.
Well, certainly early on, Chuck, we know Legacy is an outstanding team running the football, led by number 5 Rodriguez, Jason Rodriguez. But they got to establish something in the air. Would you not agree? They got to have some balance.
Their passing game's got to come to life here, even if it's short. But we got to be able to get that 9-man box reduced to 7, and you can't do it by running the ball on every play.
Jason Rodriguez did have one fine run to move the sticks. See if he can do it here. But you're right. They're going up against that big front that has so many bodies in. Once again, we have a flag down, and Rodriguez is the main ball carrier for the Legacy Tigers. Tim Cage will give us the call.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. Be a 15-yard penalty, and the result of the penalty will be a first down.
That'll help the Legacy Tigers. That'll improve their field position. That's our group today. And Tim Cage, again, well known in the city LA unit. It's a good group of officials for this rivalry game. And some breathing room finally for the Tigers. Tigers started the season with a nice win over Maywood CES, and again, they're 3-2 on the campaign. Camacho calling for the ball. Inside of 5 minutes left. Opening quarter. Rodriguez again. Breaks one tackle, but does not go very far. Not easy to run against that front as Edward Castro makes his 33rd tackle of the year.
Randy, Southgate's lining up in an odd front. They've got a nose tackle. Everybody else is standing. Makes it very difficult for the legacy linemen, who are a little bit cumbersome at this point, getting out of their stance and going after these more athletic standing bodies. Double tight set last time with 2 wide receivers, widened out the outside linebackers, but every play it's 9 in the box.
Chuck, they have them really set up for play action, don't they?
They do.
And there's the quick pass, but the pressure is coming, and no chance for the Macho Man.
And that's what I was going to say. They're bringing the pressure every time, and they're out quicking them at the line of scrimmage.
Isaiah Herrera, 59, in for the sack. Southgate, first quarter domination up front.
No doubt, and they're doing it with quickness on their defensive front, doing it with pressure, getting into gaps, and really shutting things down.
Yeah, when that pressure comes from the middle, there's really nothing a quarterback can do, nowhere to go. And Isaiah Herrera, the junior, with the big tackle.
They really are blocking 9 with 7 because they're manned up on the corners. The minute they see pass, everybody's coming. Everybody's coming whether they see pass or run. Now they're backed off a little, thinking pass.
3rd and 21, as you can see. To the air. He's got his man. This is going to be a big play for Daniel Baca.
Legacy went 4 wide, spread out the box, and found some daylight downfield. I'd be surprised to see them go away from that set, at least in the open field. They're on the goal line now, and that was one heck of a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, Baca got free, got behind the secondary, and what a great throw there from the quarterback. Number 7, Jaden Camacho. Boy, did they need this.
Huge throw, right on the money. Nice route, got inside, and again, look at the coverage and the effort to chase him down at the 5.
Jordan Oliveras didn't give up on the play, making the tackle, or it would have been a score. Inside of 3 minutes, and life here for Legacy. Their crowd comes alive in this rivalry game. Ball just outside the 5-yard line.
Well, they're in a goal line offense.
And they got Michael Smith in on offense, number 10. Give them more physicality. Right up the middle. Rodriguez carried it to the 1-yard line.
Great effort, great fight. Carried 3 guys, probably 4 yards on that play.
Mario Falcon with the stop. 2nd down and a yard to go for a touchdown. I don't think there's any secret here. Number 5 is probably going to see the football, Chuck.
Yeah, it's either going to be that or a sneak. But he's not going to sneak it unless he gets up under center.
Down to 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And threatening are the Legacy Tigers. With a touchdown and a conversion, they can take the lead. Right up the middle, standing and into the end zone goes Rodriguez. Touchdown, Jason Rodriguez. We're even at 6 apiece.
Really surprised to see a goal line defense with 2 down linemen and everybody else standing. You got to get underneath that offensive line. It's like the tush push. If you can't hold the line, you can't stop the ball carrier.
Yeah, but this is all set up by the deep ball, the pass to Baca. They had to find a passing game, and they did.
They really created that opportunity by throwing the ball. That goal line running attack is nice. I'd like to see Southgate put some down linemen down there with their hands in the ground.
Looking to take the lead with a conversion here. Six draw in Southgate. Bad snap. You're going to have to try to run it in, and there's some running room. They get to 2 as Camacho dives in. The holder and quarterback, Jaden Camacho.
Randy, as that play unfolded in front of our eyes, all I could think about was Adam Sandler going for the cone in the longest yard. And there it is. An undesigned 2-point conversion, but a 2-point lead.
Wow, what an uplifting drive for the host Legacy Tigers. They were getting pushed around in this first quarter, Chuck, until that bomb to Baca.
Yeah, they opened things up. The minute they started with the long ball, it looked like to put Southgate on their heels defensively.
Let's go back to that pass. Machado to Baca. That really set it up. It went all the way down to the 6-yard line.
Randy, I like them opening it up with the 4 wide, spreading out the field, and running out of that set.
And then Rodriguez able to take it in. And here's the miscue that turned into 2 points. What a job by the Macho Man. Jaden Camacho.
He cut back when he needed to cut back. He lowered his shoulder. He rolled his way in. That's what quarterbacks do.
Fonseca and Quintonia are back deep. We're going to see 2 exciting return artists here for Southgate, the 2 Knicks. Ruano kicking off. Ruano's got a strong leg. Fonseca on the return, and he's dangerous. Nick Fonseca. Flags are out as he goes out of bounds.
I think he saw the clip out of the corner of his eye and slowed down on his own. Great effort on the block. He really saw what he was trying to do. He tried to line him up, just couldn't get there in time, and definitely blocked behind the defender.
You know, you always get an early feel, an early impression for the game. My thoughts were, wow, Southgate looks too strong. They're too physical. But that one bomb play to Baca suddenly was uplifting for Legacy.
2 fouls on the play, both during the return. Block in the back, return team number 8. Block in the back, return team number 9. 10-yard penalty, be first down, Southgate.
Couple block in the backs against the visitors. Of course, they didn't have to come very far, just down the road for Southgate to Legacy. A lot of these young men know one another, played against each other, played with one another. And this is a fiery game early in the Eastern League season. There's Camacho, who had that spectacular 2-point conversion. Again, most of these players go both sides. Not the field position that Southgate wanted. Got a long field in front of them. They're starting from their 10. Randy Rosenblum, Chuck Price, our Brett Stye. Game of the week in the LA City section. Quintonia bottled up and hurled back.
Tough formation to defend if you're Legacy. They got trips one way and doubles the other, but everybody is bunched right outside the tackle. Causes confusion on the passing game and caused a little bit there on the counter, although I think the linebacker just overran it by a step. I thought they were in position nicely.
Well, the defensive intensity picked up after that offensive score. That's offside. Well, it has started to become a very entertaining opening quarter. We have a timeout on the field. 1:03 left. First quarter. Let's check in with our fine sponsors. There's the penalty. Thomas Gutierrez, who was prominent on that touchdown drive, had a wonderful reverse run after the infraction. Second down, 5. 8-6 Legacy leading. Late action opening quarter. Pass far side to Lewis. Anthony Lewis with a first down. He is a gifted athlete and a late flag. They really love Anthony Lewis. Great hands, big target, and tough to bring down in the open field.
He played the tight wing or tight end on that set, and on the play action did a really nice job stalk blocking, a 1/1000 count on the play action. Then he releases. Great little scheme there to freeze the linebacker, get him that daylight. I think we got a late hit.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. On the defense, 15 yards to be added to the end of the run. The results of the penalty will be a first down.
Okay, you're emotional, but you got to hold your water. I know it's a rivalry game. You don't want to commit those kind of fouls. Rams are good enough offensively. You don't need to give them that additional yardage.
In all fairness, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Those sidelines from where we look seem so close to the field of play, that distinguishing when to let up and when not. He made a great effort. I think he hit him probably one step late, but they can't afford those penalties.
Yeah, you got to keep your emotions in check. Lewis, the motion man, again, a little reverse action. They run that double reverse beautifully. Again, it was number 4 carrying the football, Thomas Gutierrez. That's the play that broke for him in that first series of downs. We're inside of a minute to play in the opening quarter. Rams with it, trailing by 2. Michael Gonzalez again handing it off to Thomas Gutierrez. And he ran into that middle of the front. Ulysses Murillo, who's the left tackle on offense, plays on that defensive line. 6'1", 280 pounds.
Those down 3 for Legacy do a very, very nice job at the point of attack. Puts a lot of pressure on those linebackers to sit at home, wait for that counter, and then fill. I think they're getting the hang of it.
On 1st and 10. This will be the final play of the quarter. Not much there. And after one, the host Legacy Tigers touchdown run from Jason Rodriguez and a 2-point carry to bring it in from Jaden Camacho. The 2-point conversion is the difference. After one quarter, it's 8-6. Now let's hear from the friends of the program who made this show possible. Tonight's LA City Section Football Game of the Week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports medicine and chiropractic. 818-508-6188. At halftime, we'll show you some excerpts from our SoCal Prep Report program. I'm joined by Tarek Fatal, and you get all the insight on all the great games that were played last week in Southern California. Beautiful shot from high atop Tigers Stadium. And they are packed in here tonight in an intimate setting for this rivalry game. That's Chris Henriquez, 0, and he's a guy that's been very, very good for this football team. 3 sacks this year for Legacy. Gonzalez to the air. Quintonia with the catch, and the defenders are there.
Very impressed with the quickness and the speed of this Legacy secondary. They get to the ball and they fly to it. They keep ball carriers in front of them. They make good, clean, crisp tackles. That's why they're in this game.
3rd and 5. I like the way Gonzalez throws the ball. He's as good, if not better than advertised. He had 15 touchdown passes coming in. You like the ratio, 5 interceptions, 3-1 to the good. Another quick one near side to Lewis. Effany Lewis breaking tackles and moving the pile. First down, Southgate.
Yeah, he's a load to bring down. There's no doubt there. 2 receivers in front of him serving as blockers. They need to do a better job staying on their block, but he did most of that on his own. Well-designed play.
How great is it to have LA City football on television again here on LA36? We're going to have a game or two just about every week. We'll have some Southern Section games as well starting in October. We are thrilled to be back with prep football, and we love our city section games. This is a good one in the Eastern League. Gonzalez out of the gun. Goes straight up the middle to Thomas Gutierrez. He runs into Michael Smith. Number 10 is underneath the pile a lot tonight. There he is. He's a hitter.
Love him. He's a great, great run stopper. Good feet. Really can turn and go with the wide receivers up the seam as well. What I'm really impressed with is the down guys from Legacy. Look at the nose guard. Creates havoc on every play.
How do you like this atmosphere here, Chuck? It's alive.
I love it. This is an LA City throwback game. Real grass, real intimate. It's the smell of high school football, city section style.
The scent of the city. Gotta love it. Pass far side. This one is caught. Again, it's number 2, Nicholas Fonseca. He's dynamic. He's quick. And you got to get a hat on him. And Rodriguez came over to do that. Joseph Rodriguez, but not before. They picked up the necessary yardage. They're very close to it. It's going to be about a yard shot. So it's going to be 3rd down and 1. Big play here, early second quarter.
3rd and short is where I'd figure they'd be the most dangerous, but Legacy still plays 3 deep, and they stand those kids 10 yards off the ball. They're going to keep this game in front of them.
Here's that double handoff, and no chance. That's great defense. They read the play. Fonseca was hemmed in, and Daniel Baca, who had that long reception, made the play defensively. A loss of yardage, and suddenly it's 4th and 4.
Scheme-wise, when they're so thin in the box, it's a time to run right at them. Side to side plays right into their hands. This is a Legacy team right now that literally is sitting with a 4-man box, daring you to run at them.
Is executing that double handoff well, but they read it. Hard run up the middle by Gutierrez.
I believe he's short.
The defense is held. They're coming off the field. Legacy gets the defensive stop.
I like the idea of running at him to pick up 5 yards, just not on 4th and 4.
There's Rodriguez, Joseph Rodriguez, linebacker. They've moved him to defensive end tonight, trying to get some additional pressure on Michael Gonzalez, and he helped plug up the play. So the defense with the stop after the offense came alive. And with 8:38 left in the half, Tigers have it with a 2-point advantage. That sideline is alive now, feeling a little bit better about things.
Still not spreading them out totally.
The pitch to Jason Rodriguez. He had no chance. That pitch was too high, and to field it brought the defenders en masse to him. Just didn't have a chance to turn it upfield. Ernesto Maceta up front trying to give him some help blocking, but there was too many bodies there from the defensive side.
They're not running with a fullback or a lead blocker. So in essence, you could take your double tight, you could take your wings and spread them out and thin that box down. But as long as you're going to line up double tight, they're not going to respect the pass like they did when they had 4 wide.
Well, they got Baca deep once. Let's see if they can go up top and find some very good opportunities. That one deep pass opened it up on that other drive when they scored. Camacho, no chance.
When they went 4 wide on the long pass, they threw the ball to a seam. That's where they're going to have to beat Southgate. I don't see them beating Southgate on the edges with the Legacy receivers versus the Southgate corners. I think getting those outside linebackers or strong safeties in coverage is going to result in the big play like they had in the other quarter.
Camacho back into the huddle. Setback of 4. They're looking at 3rd and 19. Approaching 7 minutes to play. Opening half, a 2-point game, as you can see. On a glorious night in Southgate. Had some wind earlier. It's dying down.
I think they have a matchup they like on the right. 1-on-1.
The roll and the throw Baca again with the catch, well short of the first down yardage.
He rolled to the trip side of the field. There was a lot of coverage over there, and the safety also cheated over that way as well. I thought he liked the one-on-one matchup on the other side.
Punting unit will come on 4th and a dozen.
Randy, did you like the one-on-one matchup? You'd have thrown that way.
Yeah, I would have. You got to pick on the guy who's on an island.
The guy on an island, if you can get the safety over there, that's your best bet. Slant, fade, take it to him.
Ruana to punt. Sergio Ruana. I'd like to see Legacy throw on first down on one of these series. Try to get that defense off balance. That's a good punt. No chance for a return for Nicholas Fonseca. And we'll see what the Rams can do as they look to regain the lead. Rams scored first in this contest on a short touchdown run by quarterback Michael Gonzalez. But Rodriguez scored for Legacy, and they're able to capture the lead.
Southgate has you believing they could score on any play. They've got an excitement and a deep threat to their offense. I just think it's a matter of time before they actually put the ball downfield. Even on first down would probably be to their advantage as well.
Well, again, you have a passer in Gonzalez that hits 60% of his aerials. And they're running it fairly well, too. Here's an opportunity right up the gut. And down the field comes Quintonia. Nicholas Quintonia takes it to the house.
Randy, I said it on their last possession. If you could run the ball at them in between the tackles with a lead blocker, boom, there it is. They're a team you have to attack. They just don't have a heavy box. And with a lead blocker, that play was set for success.
Big plays in this opening half, and that's as big as we have seen as Nick Quintonia goes the distance.
Who would have thought that Southgate's biggest play would be a run and Legacy's would be a deep pass?
Yep.
Don't follow any scripts in high school football.
You're not kidding. Going for the 2. Right up the middle. Beautiful effort. Thomas Gutierrez, the offensive line, did a nice job. And they get the 2 points. And it's a 14-8 lead for the Rams, and they made it look easy running the football.
Clearly, that's where Legacy's the weakest, as long as they're going to line up like this. And the flip side of the coin is, I think Southgate's most vulnerable to the pass if Legacy will get out of those bunch sets and widen the field.
How did he get out of that scrum right in the middle of the field? What a job there by Nicholas Quintonia. Looked like he was bottled up, but he kept those legs churning and was able to break free. And once he got through the traffic at the line of scrimmage, the point of attack, he was gone.
My pre-snap read on that was I was amazed how wide the Legacy safety was. He was almost on top of the corner who was in coverage. There was really no safety in the middle of the field for them, but he did escape a great tackle attempt by the linebacker. Just kept pulling and churning, and great effort on his part, and he's got good speed.
Well, the Rams answered what Legacy had done. Let's see if the Tigers can come back up the field. That was an effective pooch kick.
They will find a way to recover one of their kicks. They kick to a different spot on the field every time.
Adrian Carlos smartly fell on the football, number 3 for the Tigers. Well, they have pretty good field position here, Chuck. Again, I'd like to see him throw early and maybe throw on first or second down rather than force feed their outstanding running back, Jason Rodriguez.
Well, here we go. We're spreading the field now. This is the formation they scored on. And now you got a safety-free field, so it's a little easier to run at them.
Jeremiah Gomez, the backup quarterback, is in, number 1. And he's going to throw the football. And he does it beautifully to Rodriguez. And Rodriguez has first down yardage. So a little bit of spark off the bench. Fonseca made the tackle. They bring in the backup, number 1, Jeremiah Gomez. And he threw it accurately to Rodriguez.
Throw away the scripts.
There is no scripts.
The running team is widening the field and throwing the ball, and the spread open team is running it right at them. Here we go, same set.
It's a rivalry game. Who knows what's going to happen, right? There is, like you said, no script indeed. Could have been a face mask there as well. Another accurate toss.
What this is going to do is it will definitely open up the running lanes. They were already open on that last play.
Look who caught the ball. Jaden Camacho, who was the quarterback. He goes out on the flanks, and Jeremiah Gomez hit him beautifully. Another first down for Legacy High School, looking to recapture the lead, down 14-8. Under 5 to play, and an entertaining opening half in Southgate, California.
So now your safeties are wider and your outside linebackers are wider. Here's the time to pop one right at them.
Rodriguez has it. Like Lewis on the other side, this Rodriguez is a physical target, tough to bring down.
All of these kids do a great job catching the ball and fighting for yardage after the catch, not necessarily utilizing speed to run away, but being physical runners. They use their hands to catch the ball. They high point it. Really been worked with during the week. Coach Ibarra and the staff do a great job with these kids.
How about Jeremiah Gomez coming in and putting the ball on the numbers, throwing it
3 times in a row.
Rodriguez stumbling forward for a couple. Ran into the waiting arms of Edward Castro.
Back in the old days, coaches used to say with your offensive set, you want to spread them out to run. You want to bunch it up to throw. Keep them guessing. Legacy's clearly more effective and more of a challenge to defend with 4 wide receivers.
14-8, Southgate leading. Southgate won this matchup last year, 2 years ago. It was Legacy that was victorious. Southgate, by the way, was 7-7 last year, went to the D2 championship game and lost an absolute heartbreaker to Chatsworth. Another throw. This one's picked off. There goes Fonseca. Nick Fonseca, touchdown Rams. They love Nick Fonseca, and now you know why.
We got a penalty flag down. I think the interception stands. I think it comes back for a block in the back.
No reason to make a block
in
either.
the back.
I mean, he was gone.
Yeah.
What a great read. What a break on the ball by Fonseca.
He got a good look at it 2 or 3 plays ago. This time he just sat. But again, there was a corner, a safety, and an outside linebacker all within 3 yards of the bunch. No flag.
It is going to stand. It is a touchdown for Fonseca. Good look at Javier Sid on the far side, assistant coach. Coach, I remember Roosevelt did a great job there. One of the really good guys in the LA City section. Worked at a lot of different schools, coaching in the Eastern League, and came by to say hi to us. It was great to see Javier here tonight. And speaking of great, what a play by Fonseca.
Really a great read, great pick. Understanding your opponent, studying the game film from previous weeks.
Gonzalez throwing it, knocked away. Intended for Leo Ramirez.
Nice play design. I'm not so sure he couldn't have turned it up and run that in, but nice surge right here by Southgate, taking advantage of the athletes.
How about this read and touchdown defensively? Number 2, Fonseca with the grab and the score.
Well, it was a great read on his part, but it might have been the lack of the read on the quarterback's part. Had a hard time seeing over the line of scrimmage, kind of just put that out there. Didn't think that outside backer would come flying up. Corner, I'm sorry.
Just moments ago, it was 8-6. Legacy, you look up now, and suddenly it's 28 the other way. 20-8 for the Rams of Southgate.
I don't want to see Legacy go away from throwing the ball. I want to see them throw the ball up the field in the seams, take advantage of the secondary athletes, not the corners.
They all know where the camera is. Everybody waving, having a good time. Good crowd, of course, on this rivalry night. Love the fact that it's on Thursday, too. A Thursday night game. That kick is going out of bounds. That's what we saw all last week at Narbonne.
I guess they like the strategy. There it is. Kick it out of bounds. Give them the ball at the 40.
35.
It is the 40.
Was the 35 last week.
Oh. Maybe the 40 is the NFL rule.
It is. 40 is the NFL.
Add 5 yards to the end of the kick. It'll be first down Legacy.
And it's a neighborhood rivalry. What's 5 yards amongst friends?
Yeah, who cares? Yeah. I shouldn't have corrected you there.
Yeah, we just make it up as we go. I do.
So they do indeed start from the 35-yard line. Still better than 3 minutes to play in the half, and suddenly the Rams
Now they've
are
got,
down by a dozen.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. Now they got no safeties on the field. Everything's man coverage.
Gomez remains in at quarterback. There goes Rodriguez. Boy, the offenses suddenly are in high gear, and you saw there the speed of Jason Rodriguez.
Really got through that hole quickly. Great concept for Legacy. With no safeties in the field play, all they really need to do is get past the line of scrimmage. They've got all 7 guys left on defense right in the box.
By the way, Jason Rodriguez is not related to Joseph Rodriguez, and they are 2 of the better players on the Legacy squad. The deep ball. Oh, and Baca was available. Oh, he had split the safeties, and had that one been on target, that would have been a touchdown.
Well, actually, they had the safeties in man coverage on the slots. They were playing man all the way across. The safeties were in no man's land. They're sitting there at 7 yards off playing man. They're susceptible to the inside and the outside. That's a tough coverage job for those safeties.
That very easily could have been a touchdown. That's the one that Jeremiah Gomez would like to have back. Well, the passing game has opened it up for Rodriguez. Let's see if they feed him here on 2nd down and 10. And they do. And he answers the call. First down yardage and a lot more for hard-charging Jason Rodriguez.
I love watching him run. He's shifty. He finds the hole. He knows exactly when to plant his foot and go in a different direction.
This is the script that you were waiting for, right? We're running the ball.
Spread them to run it.
Yep.
Bunch them to throw it.
And we mentioned it earlier. They had to get some kind of passing game going. I like the fact, too, that the coaching staff stayed with Jeremiah Gomez after he had the pick 6. Legacy head coach Mario Ibarra. I thought that was a pretty good call to bring this young man in. He opened it up with the passing game. Just had the one mistake, but he's looked pretty good.
And they keep Camacho on the field. He's a leader and obviously athletic enough to make plays in the slot.
Tried to score before half. Another one to the inside for Rodriguez. Knocked away. The brilliance defensively by Joshua Navarro. Number 5. Tight coverage in the secondary.
Navarro's probably the one player in that secondary that I don't want to go at. I would take any of those other matchups in man coverage across the formation. He's the one kid that's got tremendous size, range, and he's quite an athlete over there.
20-8. Southgate leads, but Southgate back on their heels a little bit here as Legacy's coming down the field. 2nd down and 10. It would do the Tigers well to get a touchdown here. A little option play. It's tossed behind Rodriguez, and all he can do is fall on the football. He had no chance there and did the wise thing to save the possession.
I like the call, but what you need to see out of that quarterback is he needs to come upfield and he needs to attack 13, the edge, and really make him make the commitment. And 13 did, but too late because he made the toss. Back was already gone.
Timeout taken. And coming to the sideline is that offense from Legacy. They're looking at 3rd down and mammoth proportions here, 3rd and 25.
I love watching the option play in high school, and I think for a quarterback who understands how to run it and when to toss the ball, it's lethal. 13 did a great job coming off of the edge. You tell your defensive end, you must cancel quarterback, but you tell your quarterback, if he comes to you, get rid of the ball. If he's lost in space, take it.
What a hard-fought first half this has been. Score a little deceiving here. There's a 2-point lead not all that long ago for Legacy. Now they're down double digits, but they're into Southgate territory. But the down and distance not easy here for number 1 Jeremiah Gomez. He needs 25 yards. $1.25 left before the break, and again at halftime we will have SoCal Prep report for you.
How about a
Joined by
screen?
Tarek Fatal. You want the screen?
I want the screen.
How about a deep ball? How about this one's picked off? And guess who? Fonseca, his second one of the half. The other one went the distance for a pick six. This one stalls the drive. Nick Fonseca is brilliant.
He's literally all over the field. He high points the ball. You have to do it when you're that height. He's a dynamic football player. That was a great play.
Yeah, he gets it done. 5'10", just 165 pounds, just a junior. One of the better players in the Eastern League. So with $1:19 left, what do you want to see from Southgate?
Southgate's going to try and put points on the board. There's no doubt.
Well, they have the arm to do it, and Michael Gonzalez protected beautifully. The home run ball. Got his man. That's the best throw of the night.
Guess who?
Spectacular to Fonseca. Gonzalez to Fonseca.
He's number two. He's earned the nickname of the night. That's Prime right there.
Number two tries harder, right?
Number two's Prime, right? Didn't Prime wear two at Florida State University?
I think he did, but when you're number two, you try harder.
Oh, there you go.
Trying to help you out here.
Yeah,
Chuck.
no,
How about this throw? That's as good as it gets. He just dropped it in the bucket. Gonzalez with a beautiful strike. Here's Quintonia. And he's wrapped up by James Gomez.
Timeout.
By the way, James Gomez, number 6, 42 tackles coming in. That's better than 8 a night. 5 tackles for loss.
Somehow I feel a sense of urgency from Southgate, like they need to put points on the board and make this game a 3-score battle. I think they fear the rival, and I think they understand what rivalry games are about. If you go into the locker room with a 2-score lead in a game like this, anything can happen. It's LA City high school football, so you know anything can happen.
I look at it maybe a little bit differently. I think they're feeling maybe we can knock them out here. I mean, we got a 12-point lead. We got a touchdown here, maybe even go for 2, get up to 18, 19, 20-point advantage. Then we'll have Legacy really on the ropes.
Well, they want to demoralize them. They don't want them going into the locker room thinking they're in a game.
Well, they're in it. They're definitely battling.
I don't want to look too far ahead, but Cleveland Crenshaw tomorrow night.
We'll be there. We'll be in Reseda for that one. Cleveland, one of the best 1-3 teams in the city section. They've played a very difficult schedule. Crenshaw is always the Cougars. They're great. They're 3-1. That'll be a real battle. Many believe Cleveland is the favorite there, but we will see tomorrow night. First things first, let's see what Southgate does here. Michael stepping up. Boy, he climbs the pocket beautifully, and a perfect strike to Nicholas Quintonia.
Love the way that looked. Rolled, bought time, waited, let that receiver clear, put it where he could move the sticks and get to the next play.
This Southgate team has weapons. The two Knicks, Fonseca and Quintonia. And, of course, this quarterback, the trigger man, Michael Gonzalez. Michael, what's he going to do with it? Running for his life, Michael Gonzalez reversing his field. Here he comes to the near side. Still going. What a run by Gonzalez. You don't do it any better than that, weaving through traffic.
Shifty and nifty. He's got it all. Nice field general. Look at him. Eyes downfield. He's scrambling, but his eyes are still downfield. Takes great care of the ball. Carries it like a running back. I like him. I like him a lot. I like what he does for this football team.
Well, we have a clock situation. You saw
Yeah.
the clock run all the way down, and obviously he went out of bounds, so they're going to have to rectify this. They put 19 seconds up now on the scoreboard. That seems appropriate. We'll see what the Rams elect to do here.
Well, they're running it again.
They shouldn't be running it. He went out of bounds. Gonzalez going to have to snap the ball with that clock going. Handoff right up the middle. Strong run for a touchdown for Thomas Gutierrez. The Rams again come down the field and score. I'm mentioning all the weapons they have, and I didn't talk about Gutierrez. He's been prime time tonight as well.
A lot of versatility, catches, runs, very shifty on the counter. You can see what kind of impact he delivers on the goal line. Really lowers his shoulder and runs through two big defenders.
We'll go for 2.
Yeah, they took advantage of those natural holes in that defensive front.
So 2 more. They run it in. And now it's halftime. So at the break, you looked up, it was 8-6 Legacy. And just in the blink of an eye, it's 28-8. The Rams lead by 20. So at the break, we'll step out. We'll hear from our SoCal Prep Report show, and then we'll come back a little later with highlights and the second half kickoff. We'll talk to you in a few minutes, everybody.
Why, hello there. I'm Tarek Patel.
Did we wake him up or what? Hi, I'm Randy Rosenblum, and this is SoCal Prep Report. A little bit dramatic, White Cars.
Days of our lives, man. I'm trying to get the role.
Yeah, well, we've got dramatic football. Of course, we had some huge games last week. One in particular we want to kind of break down for you. Mater Dei traveling to Las Vegas, rolling the dice, and winning the game against Bishop Gorman 27-24. This was a game that really dictated Mater Dei having the opportunity down the road to stay in the national championship picture after losing to Corona Centennial.
Yeah, and it was a good bounce-back game for Coach Raul Lara and his Monarchs because, look, you lose to Centennial. I think they had 6 or 7 turnovers. Clearly not the best game they've ever played. So now you go on the road, and I think the best thing for them was going on the road. And an aspect of it that was a business trip, less distraction. Let's get on the bus. All the kids have their headphones in. Sure, you can have a little fun on the road, but for the most part, when it came to game time, it was easier to lock in because there's less to worry about when you're at home. So I thought it was a really good sense of character for the Monarchs. They get a narrow victory. And I do think, though I think Bishop Gorman is good, Randy, I think it was another indicator that Mater Dei isn't the juggernaut we all think they are.
I think it's too early to tell. It's an impressive victory on the road. I think what's interesting here is Mater Dei has beaten that Gale team all 5 times they've met. They always seem to be very competitive, close games, especially in Las Vegas. I think it's a thrilling, great victory. And a couple things happened in this game. Let's go over it. First, the development of Ryan Hopkins, transfer quarterback for Mater Dei, playing big in a big game.
Yeah, he threw, I think, a couple touchdowns to Mark Bowman, a couple touchdowns to Chris Henry Jr., so he did look good. I thought there were moments. Look, the opening touchdown of the game, I believe, came from Bishop Gorman. They were down 7-0, Mater Dei was, and they were able to respond and take the lead. So, again, good character building and maybe even a confidence builder. How often do you say, wow, Mater Dei, this was a good confidence builder for them? Because they're always at the top, but, they needed that after a loss. So I'm excited to see what they do with the rest of it. That being said, I actually think, and I don't know if we're talking about this later in the show, but a little teaser. Are we talking about Santa Margarita Gorman later at all?
Santa Margarita Gorman, we are.
Okay, then I'll save it for later.
If it's that good, you can present it right now.
No, I just think Santa Margarita is going to beat Gorman.
It's possible.
I think it'll show that maybe Gorman isn't as good as we all think, and that equals Mater Dei isn't as good as we all think. That's what I think.
I don't like
a lot of thinking.
Comparing scores. You get into this and that. No. Last week, that was a huge win for Mater Dei.
Yes.
A big win for the Monarchs.
I think psychologically it was a bigger win than anything else.
Bowman, the tight end, Mark Bowman, going to USC, had not really been in the aerial attack for Mater Dei throughout the first few games. I think that's a huge development. He's not only a great blocker, but now integrating him into the offense makes Mater Dei's offense that much better.
I agree with you, and to be short, I think there was an emphasis to get him the ball more, and look what happened. I agree with you.
It's good to have Tarek agree with me. A little later in the show, we're going to have point-counterpoint. I don't think he's going to agree with me there. He will agree
with me that Sierra Canyon is playing great football. Over Olu, 41-9. The defense of Sierra Canyon so far has been impregnable. You can't get by them.
Whoa, impregnable, my gosh. It's a child's show.
It's your time. You're on.
Sierra Canyon, yeah, I mean, I think, listen, when you play an Olu team or a Trinity League team and they don't score an offensive touchdown, that's actually happened twice this year. They beat J. Sarah 35-0, obviously a shutout, and then Orange Lutheran, their 9 points came off a short field goal and then a blocked kick that was returned for a touchdown. Their offense literally couldn't do anything. So I think when you look at Sierra Canyon, and especially Rod Sherman, the coach at Olu, said he thinks they'll be in the Division I final. So high praise.
Tell us about this running back. We haven't talked about Jackson Stokes much. He had 3 touchdowns for the Trailblazers. In fact, we don't talk about their offense enough because they do score points. Laird, the quarterback, is playing well too. But Stokes, what kind of player is he?
I think he's a rising junior that a lot of Power 5, Power 4 now conferences in college football will be after. He's a little smaller, but man, he packs a punch. I'm going to almost give him like kind of a Warwick Dunn. I don't know, remember Warwick Dunn type, Florida State, Falcons type player, man. Makes you miss in a phone booth, can catch it too. And once he gets into the secondary, he's got lightning speed. So he's got a lot of touchdowns, and he actually runs with power too.
I did a one-on-one interview with Warwick Dunn. Great kid at Florida State. I just want to throw that in there. You're the one who brought up the name. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's
who would
great.
have thought that
I mean,
we were
I
gonna
asked you if
talk
you knew
about
who he
Warwick
was.
Dunn?
Didn't know you guys were buddies.
No, I didn't say we're buddies, but he was. Warwick Dunn was a great player. St. John Bosco is the #1 team in the country, and again, they flexed their muscles, dominating the team from Hawaii, St. Louis. And again, St. Louis is the top team from the state of Hawaii. Bosco continues to roll. They had a great win earlier in the year against St. Francis Academy. Madden Williams is averaging 25.5 yards per catch.
Yeah, St. John Bosco right now it gets the #1 nod in pretty much every poll out there. I think for a couple polls, maybe they had Gorman up there, but that's gone now that they've lost to Mater Dei. So the Braves keep rolling. I think that's a team that is just #1 simply because they started in the rankings so high, and you have to just give them the #1 nod because they haven't lost. But that's another team that does look somewhat mortal this year.
So is Mission Viejo. We didn't know if they were mortal or not, but they went to Tennessee, and it wasn't a good trip going to the South. McCallie knocked them off 25-14. A lot of people called it a stunner. Were you surprised?
Not so much. Listen, if you look at Mission Viejo, they've had some really interesting. Their 3 games, the last 3 games, they were against Folsom, against Lincoln, and then they have to travel and play this school from Tennessee. So out of section, out of state competition, you got kids, you're getting on a plane, they're tired, man, they're a little beat up. I'm not exactly surprised they lost. I think they'll be fine.
Is it too much? Are we asking too much of these programs? We're seeing Bosco play a national schedule, obviously Mater Dei, Mission Viejo traveling all over the country. It's wear and tear on your team.
Yeah, I think so, but that's why, you have the bye week and you can get some rest in. So that's what's happening a lot this week for so many programs out there. I think Mission Viejo, I think they have to play Chaparral this week, which is actually a decent opponent. But yeah, I think they'll be fine. And look, at the end of the day, for most of these programs, win or loss, you want to give those high school athletes a great experience. And being able to travel and play football is certainly a special thing.
Depends on the turbulence on the flight,
Yeah,
how good the experience is.
Yeah, that too.
Going to Tennessee could be a long trek. How about this one? Corona Centennial, no letdown for the Huskies.
Yeah.
They continue to play outstanding football. Rancho Cucamonga, losing record, but a pretty good team. I think the underlying factor here is the fact that Centennial didn't let down after the Mater Dei win.
Right. I actually spoke to Dominic Catalano, the quarterback, after they beat Mater Dei, and he told me, man, as great as this win was over Mater Dei, we can't let it be the pinnacle of our season. We got to keep moving forward. And so for them not to have any type of emotional, psychological, or even physical letdown against Rancho Cucamonga, who has played a very, very tough schedule this year, was a promising sign for the Huskies.
Are we overlooking Los Alamitos?
Yeah.
Ray Fenton's team is 6-0. How good are they?
Yeah, and they're going to go 7-0 because they play Calabasas this week, and I don't think that game's going to be close. But Ray Fenton, man, talk about one of the good guys out there coaching high school football, and got a chance to talk with him a couple weeks ago. They have a running back who also plays DB named Lenny Ibarra, who's kind of their all-world, do-everything type player. And such a nice kid that's going to go to West Point, if I'm not mistaken, and play football. So good quality student athletes, good coaching, and the last ad, kind of back to basics. Los Alamitos has been known for having some high-level 4-star, 5-star guys, and it not really panning out. And Fenton, I think, is getting back to just more neighborhood kids, and it's working out.
Are you concerned they gave up so many points?
Look, I don't think Los Alamitos is going to be some juggernaut in Division I. They're going to be in Division II and be really, really good. So they actually can't play themselves too high. They're not perfect, so I'm not too concerned about it. I think they'll be right where they need to be come playoff time.
Well, we're seeking perfection on this show. How about Oscar Rios? He's back, one of my favorite quarterbacks in SoCal. Downey. In fact, he threw a touchdown to his brother Jesus in the final seconds to win the game over Inglewood 21-20.
Yeah, pretty cool. I think Oscar Rios is certainly a name that everyone knows about here in Southern California. He's been dominating it through the air in his arm for at least 3 years, and so he's finally a senior. He's going to Arizona. Nice to see him eke one out. Inglewood is kind of had to restart. They're young and rebuilding, but a quality win for Downey, especially I think their last game before the victory was a thumping against Sierra Canyon. So it was good for them to get back in the saddle and get a victory.
Same for the Eagles of Eagle Rock. They've struggled defensively, but there's no struggles offensively. Paston, their quarterback, is tremendous. Had another big game, throwing for 5 touchdowns. 56-21. Taft had come into this game unbeaten, 3-0, but now the Toreadors suffer their first setback of the year.
Yeah, and this always seems to be a theme for the city section is, like, for example, on Friday, we've got Cleveland. I know we're going to talk about that more. Cleveland's playing Crenshaw. Crenshaw's 3-1. Cleveland's 1-3. Crenshaw might even be 4-1. But point is you can't look at the wins and losses. You got to look at who these teams are playing. So you're saying Taft was unbeaten. Eagle Rock might have had a losing record coming into the game, but they've played a much tougher schedule, some Southern Section opponents, and fallen short. So for me, when you look at a city section team, you got to look if they're battle tested or not.
I put this in to the show, this score, because he was right,
Yeah.
and I was wrong.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I'll admit that occasionally I'm offline. I thought Banning could compete with Palos Verdes. I thought Palos Verdes would win the game. I didn't expect 52-0.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, I did. I mean, 52-0. No, I would have said, I don't know, 35-7 or it's almost like it almost doesn't make a difference. But I knew it was going to be lopsided. Again, Palos Verdes you're talking about a team that's played Sarah Gardena. They played some really high quality teams, and so Banning comes to town. And generally, Banning is a team that doesn't exactly air it out. They like to play. They're like a Big Ten high school football team. They come with a lot of players. They want to come with a lot of beef and run the game, run the ball. Not a lot of versatility. So you run into a Southern Section team that knows how to stop one thing and tries to force you to do something else, you're going to lose.
Another Southern Section team, lower division, like about Division 11, is Santa Paula, the Cardinals, and they took it to Narbonne on their Brett Stye game of the week. And there was big play after big play early in the game. Here's a long touchdown pass going to Carvath. And this was on the first possession. It was actually the third play of the night. And number 0 was able to take it in. The quarterback was outstanding. Rene Vega ends up throwing 4 touchdowns in the game, all in the half. Here's another one to Sebastian Mendez, who went off in this game, scoring 3 touchdowns. Mendez was terrific. He had a special teams touchdown as well. And here it is. It's a block. You can see number 5 picking up a scoop and a score. This is always an exciting development for a player, especially in prep sports. And you got a feel for Mendez. You got to imagine the ride going back to Santa Paula about 100 miles after catching another touchdown pass right here. 3 touchdowns in the first half for the senior Mendez. That had to be a wonderful time for him.
Yeah, he's going to tell his grandkids one day, I was live on TV and had 3 touchdowns against Narbonne, and you want to know who was on the call? His name's Randy Rosenblum.
Now he's going to tell his grandkids he had 5 touchdowns. 3 in the first half, 2 in the second half.
Yeah, that's
I will
funny.
say
and Joe Buck was on the call.
Yeah. I will say this, Narbonne outscored them 8-0 in the second half, but again, Santa Paula pulled a number of their starters. So at least they pulled back a little bit, and it was a pretty entertaining second half as well. All right, let's take a look at some of the top performances last week in prep football in the Southland, and there's always great performances. We'll start with Gavin Gray, the QB at Agoura, 440 yards, 6 touchdowns. Oh, he did it to the Bulldogs of Buena.
Yeah, Gavin Gray is a young man with a great story. He is coming off injury from last year and has a lot of expectations his senior year, and he's meeting those expectations for Dustin Croik, who's one of the good guys out there coaching high school
he's
football.
the best guy.
Yeah, Croik's awesome.
Croik is a great
like a
guy.
real just dude out there coaching high school football. And the Chargers are good, man. They've got some really good players, so Gavin Gray is one to watch.
He really is. I do want to mention Tuaniga. I mean, 9 touchdowns in the win over Cabrillo. That's special. You can't beat that. Then there's Thaddeus Bro of Hamilton. We're going to talk a little bit more about him later in the show. 402 yards, 6 touchdowns over Rancho Dominguez. Quentin Pacelli, running back, had a big game for Garden Grove. 380 yards is ridiculous. And Jack Norman, wide receiver, DB, 5 receptions, 232 yards with 3 scores, and a pick 6 on defense. Tesoro doesn't want to have to do any more work against Jack Norman.
Yeah, these are great standouts. Thaddeus Bro, a freshman, and then the gentleman from Milliken High School, freshman. So 2 freshmen there on the standout performances. Nice to see before you go into league play.
All right, let's talk about the CIF Southern Section top 10. Actually, in truth, Tark puts together a top 25. We show the top 10 teams. Bosco number 1, no great surprise. I see you've elevated Sierra Canyon, and you have Mater Dei to 4th. Do you really think they're the 4th best team, or are they, because of their record, you have them at 4th?
Well, I think Sierra Canyon is playing better than, I would even argue, maybe even St. John Bosco, but there's kind of a respect level there. Until someone knocks them off, Bosco's going to be number 1, Sierra Canyon number 2 after what they did to Orange Lutheran. And then Centennial you have to keep above Mater Dei because they beat them. I mean, that's just how it goes. So,
Tonight's LA City Section Football Game of the Week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports medicine and chiropractic. 818-508-6188. An explosion in the first half from Southgate. They were down 8-6 midway through the second quarter. And you look up at halftime, they had a pick 6 from Fonseca, and they build a 28-8 lead. Here's some of those highlights. This number 1, some football player, that's the quarterback Gonzalez. Rodriguez counters with a touchdown, and they get the 2-point conversion on the effort by Camacho on the 2-pointer. What a job he did. It was a bad snap. Then this little trickeration with the fine run from Nicholas Quintonia. Again, big plays in that first half. Chuck, that was really the order of the night. The beautiful running game, the inside running game of Thomas Gutierrez. And here's that pick 6 by Fonseca.
It always comes down to turnovers, and 2 interceptions, 1 ran back to the house, and the other one led to the last score of the half. If you can't protect the football, it's tough to win football games. Turnovers are a killer.
Big, powerful run from Gutierrez, number 4. Southgate's going to get the ball to begin the second half. Boy, did they come on at the end of that second quarter, scoring at will, it seemed like, after Legacy was starting to take charge after a big play. Legacy got the deep ball to Daniel Baca. Great throw from Jeremiah Gomez, and things looked good, but after the Rodriguez short touchdown run, it became all Southgate. Of course, Southgate lost in the D2 finals to Chatsworth last year, 7-7. You know, it's interesting, just a couple of years ago, Cisco Saldana went 0-10 in 2023. And they turned it around, went to the championship game last year, and they're looking to go to 4-2 and 2-0 in the league, in the Eastern League, on another 71-degree night. It was 71 degrees last week in Narbonne.
We're consistent. You know, when you shout out Southgate and you look at the history of the school, one of the best coaches in Southern California history, Kevin Pearson, was a quarterback there, graduated in 1983. Great football team when they played in the Crosstown League. Kevin's dad Doug Pearson, the only scorer of the game in the 1955 LA City Championship game, 7-0. Guess who Southgate beat to win the city title? The North Hollywood Huskies.
I don't want to hear about it.
They came back in '88. They won a Division II championship. Maybe this year. There's a lot of divisions in the city. Everybody can find a home.
Hopefully the Huskies can. Of course, I went there and played for North Hollywood. We did not win a game when I played.
Kevin Pearson was a hell of a quarterback.
Heck
But
of a
man,
coach,
that guy
too.
can coach.
He can coach. But when I played for the Huskies, we were 0-8, scored 6 points the whole season. This one is directed toward Fonseca, but out of bounds. So where does the ball start, Chuck Price?
I'd like it to go to the 40, but they're going to put it at the 35.
You
Randy,
are lobbying for the 40, are you not?
I am lobbying to eliminate the kickoff.
Bounce on the kicking team. The offense has elected to take the ball at the 35-yard line. It'll be first down.
They elected for the 35. They could have voted for the 40.
Well, the votes are all counted up, and they're going to the 35. The vote is in, and we get to see once again Michael Gonzalez, this fine quarterback. Just a junior, some young stars at Southgate. So the president is nice, and the future is even brighter. Michael calling his own number, Michael Gonzalez. Michael Gonzalez is on his way. How fast is this quarterback? Touchdown, Southgate.
Electrifying run. Put their inside slot on the trip side in motion away from the line of scrimmage. Safety flew out of there with him.
Well, we highlighted him on the pregame. Again, he's maybe better than advertised. He got that rifle arm. He's made some great throws tonight. We didn't know he was that kind of runner.
Can't wait to see that again. There was a great kick-out block in there. I'm not sure if that was a wingback. It had to be a pulling lineman, but a great kick-out at the point of attack sprung him.
They don't kick it. They always go for two, and they run it effectively. And another two-point conversion. And again, it's Thomas Gutierrez taking it in, and it's 35-8.
Disheartening start for Legacy. It's important that we go back to what we looked at last week and assessed how this team finishes. Pretty good chance they're not going to win this game. Yeah, but when you looked at the line of scrimmage, and I again said that kick-out block at the point of attack was great. Then he bobbed and weaved away from secondary. He's a great athlete.
By the way, they corrected the scoreboard here. They had 35 up. It should be 36, and now is. So it's 36-8. And again, this is a football team that in their last outing at Southgate, the Rams put 54 on the Rough Riders. It was a rough night for Roosevelt that night trying to defend this unit. You can see the weapons that Southgate has. They are impressive.
I see the head of officiating, Tony Crittenden, has come into the stadium.
This one's picked up, looking for a return. Are the Tigers. Didn't quite reach the 40-yard line.
Really like to see Legacy go back to that four-receiver attack, run the ball, throw the ball into the seams and not the flat. Places where there's really great opportunity for them to move the ball.
Well, suddenly it's a lopsided score, but that doesn't diminish the talents and what we have seen from Jason Rodriguez, the explosive, darting running back of the Tigers. Still the entire half to go, but the daunting task in front of Legacy. Gomez, the passing quarterback, in there. He'll run it. Not a whole lot there.
11 Southgate Rams within 4.5 yards of the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a tough chore to run on that.
You know, 1 yard runs are not going to get it done for Legacy at this stage. And that's a Southgate team now that is brimming with confidence.
Not having seen Garfield in person, I do believe the Garfield-Southgate game will be a good football game. I like the way Southgate plays. I like the fact that they'll play man coverage with no safety. I love the pressure they put at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Garfield beat this South Legacy team 37-6. Here's the pitch. Rodriguez trying to turn it upfield, battling. What an effort. Has that straight arm. He's in quite a tussle with Quintonia. You can see the emotions running high. So first down. Look at this effort. That's almost looked like a punch there, and then he got a little aggressive on the sideline. But I like the fact they didn't throw all the flags. They just cooled the kids down and let them go back to the huddle. And here comes Rodriguez off the field, and he'll simmer down.
My point exactly. Really let him play. A lot of officials might have thrown that flag. Definitely a great one not to throw at this stage of the game.
Well, you know, Legacy wants to put one back in the end zone after seeing Southgate explode to get to 36. And they're running it better here. That's a good sign. Just a straight dive play that opened up. Running it was Camacho, who was the starting quarterback tonight. There he took it as a handoff in the backfield. These pieces move around on the chessboard a lot.
When I look at Southgate and I think about Garfield and upper echelon teams in the LA City section, they might lack a little bit of upfront size. I love the things they do on both sides of the ball. They've got a very, very dominating nose tackle and a lot of pressure applied to that O-line.
Quarterback, it's the run. Camacho. And again, they're moving the football on the ground here. First down.
And then you switch over and you talk about a legacy team that probably doesn't have a great chance to come back and win this game, although the game's far from over. They still continue to fight. They work hard on the things that they know they do best and that they're going to have to get better at. So there's no quitting this team. They're giving it to their weapon. He's running hard. These kids are blocking to the whistle. And again, it's, for me, a great opportunity in person to see an Eastern League battle for a league that most people don't talk about that often.
So they brought Jaden Camacho back in, and suddenly the ground game is starting to produce. I like the fact that they've gone back to basics. Camacho trying to reverse his field and go back the other way, and that did not fool the defense at all. Running to the football beautifully was Joshua Navarro, number 5, who's been dominant tonight.
Nose for the football, never takes it down off. Inside, outside type of a kid. And for me, when I watch him play, I don't necessarily think he's as big and as fast as kids on some of these other Banning, Carson, Birmingham squads, but he makes a play on every single snap.
By the way, Birmingham is still ranked number 1 in the city. Carson's right up there, San Pedro. Garfield's in the top 10 from the Eastern League. Palisades, an explosive offensive team. Here's a handoff. And with it, trying to use the block of Michael Smith and weave upfield was Rodriguez.
Speaking of Palisades, they've got a game, I believe, against Mary Star of the Sea, a team that last week played a pretty physical and athletic Lawndale team close. I think that'll be a great challenge for Palisades. The Western League, Venice plays very, very good defense. Hamilton plays very, very good offense. Palisades are in a class by themselves offensively, but they're giving up a lot of points. The Western League's the biggest question. Coliseum's got King, Drew, Dorsey, and Crenshaw. The city's exciting, Randy. I love this,
And
man.
I love the quarterbacks.
Jack
The
Thomas.
Western League. Yeah, Thomas at Palisades. Bennett Dome at Venice has been very good. Bro and Hamilton. Here's a pass over the middle. Flags are out on a ball intended for Rodriguez.
They're going to get a defensive hold or an interference, but beautiful man coverage to me. Really was. I don't know that we'll get a replay on it, but I love that style of football. And if you trip them up a little bit, 15 yards is better than 6 points.
Defensive pass interference, 15 yards. The results of the penalty will be a first down.
But if you let them run by you and catch a touchdown, that's 6 points. So our math always says 15 over 6.
And if you're Southgate, you want to keep everything in front of you right now. You have a 36-8 lead. You're just guarding against the big play.
But they're not playing to preserve the lead. They're playing to get better, I think, and doing what they're going to need to do to win an open playoff game.
Well, right now they want to win the Eastern League, and with a victory tonight, Southgate will go to 2-0. Again, they're content to run the football, and they've had success on this drive doing that. Ball came out after Rodriguez went down. I believe they're going to roll
Live
a
ball.
turnover. Rodriguez can't believe it. He thought he was down. And coming out of there, Southgate, Edward Castro with the takeaway. Boy, officials are talking about it right now. I thought he was down. Let's take a look at this. What do you think, Chuck? It's hard to tell if they ripped it out of there, though. Maybe they did, but he's down there. I think they may have ripped it out. I think it might be a good call.
They did. They ripped it out. There was clearly no whistle.
And Edward Castro ripped it out and recovered it. There he is. He's talking about, I ripped that out.
They're going to go jugular here.
Gonzalez trying to get it to Fonseca. The ball's on the ground. It's blown dead. They're calling it a forward pass, I guess. They blew it dead. That looked like a fumble, but I think they're going to rule it a forward pass.
Quarterback was running with the ball.
It is an incompleted pass. What are you thinking of? A couple close ones in a row.
Fumble.
They ruled it a forward pass.
No. Great call. Really is. It's a great call. Shovel's a forward pass, so if you can't catch it, it's incomplete.
Stop the clock! Stop the clock!
You can hear him say stop the clock. It was running because it was.
This is where the LA City gets better. I'm watching a really good officiating crew. I'm looking at Tony Crittenden, the head of officials, standing at the goal line. He's filming the game for his own purposes.
Yep. He's got to be happy with the crew. What I've liked tonight is they've put it, the game ahead of themselves, and I love that. And they picked up a flag on the Fonseca touchdown that could have brought it back, and they picked that flag up, and Fonseca had the pick six. Here's another penalty, and we'll get the call.
When I think about this, it's
Dead ball. False start. 74, White. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
and that's the philosophy. If you see a penalty before the play, you have to call it. That's how you maintain order. But when there's penalties that you don't need to call, like we saw on the last series, I love this job. I think this crew is great. And again, I think if the head of officials is here, this crew only gets better, as does the unit.
Right up the middle. He's going to run with the football. And you know he can turn it on. That man, Michael Gonzalez, is cat quick. He has the big arm, and he has the legs to go with it. He is dynamic.
He spreads out the offense and really doesn't take much to get him upfield. Lane integrity for that defensive front is tough when the team is spread this far out. You come after the quarterback, you got to make a full attempt to get him, but you got to protect your lane. You leave a little bit of a crease for him, he's going to take advantage of it.
Third down and 11. You would think pass, but this is a Southgate team that's got a lot of options.
Run right at him.
Plays. Gonzalez looking to throw the ball and scrambling and now throwing the deep ball. It's caught downfield. On his way is Quintonia. Nicholas Quintonia. How did Gonzalez get it to him? What a play.
Unbelievable pocket mobility. Great job by that defensive front. Great job by the defense, keeping him in the pocket, not letting him use his wheels, and he finds an open receiver. That's just great quarterbacking.
And just like that, Southgate into the 40s. They have 42 midway through the third quarter. There's a guy who's had another big night. Nicholas Quintonia, Fonseca. The other Nick has been great.
Because
And of course, this quarterback, Michael Gonzalez. Whew, what a player. And they always go for two. That one's too tall on the outside. Intended for Effany Lewis.
Quintonia is their big play guy. Prime Fonseca, he's just all over the place. The quarterback is a difference maker.
So you have now given Nick Fonseca a label. He's prime.
He is prime, and last week we found Eclipse. Wow. You know, when you could buy that kind of time with your legs as a quarterback, plays like that happen. Quintonia, he just finds a way to make a play on the ball, always in the right spot at the right time.
Boy, is this score misleading. There's no question that Southgate's the dominant team.
This is the
But it's
most
been
exciting
quick strike.
42-8 game I've seen this year.
Quick strike stuff. By the way, and we mentioned it in the first half, how lovely a setting is it here at Legacy? We got the LA River to our right. We got a beautiful water tower to our left. The old train trestles
I love it here.
to our right as well, right by the LA River.
This feels like an LA City football environment.
High school football at its best tonight from Southgate.
Thank you, Brett Stye.
Yeah, Brett Stein made it happen. Sponsoring our ball games and presenting the LA City section. So I want to thank Lee's Tires and fine pizza from
Red West.
Yeah, they do a great job. In fact, we had Red West pizza last week at Narbonne. That was pretty good stuff.
I love the wings.
Oh, I couldn't stop eating. I had to go for an extra 2-3 miles on my walk the next day. And of course, our friends in the San Fernando Valley, Chiropractic. Do a nice job too. Premier Performance. 42-8. See if Legacy can come back down the field. They were moving it the last possession and just coughed it up, and right up the gut is the brilliant running back, Rodriguez, Jason Rodriguez. I mean, he's showing this wonderful burst.
He's a dynamic running back, and that Legacy offensive line does a very nice job. When I watch a run like that, and it's not the first time we've seen it, my concern for Southgate, if we want to look at them as an upper echelon team, a squad like Garfield could put up a lot of yards running right at them.
And again, they have the great Cesar Reyes, who is arguably the best two-way player in the city.
A team like San Pedro,
Well,
Birmingham.
San Pedro's so big.
That's a team that they probably couldn't stop running the ball if they're facing these challenges here. But Legacy does a nice job running the ball.
I will say this, the Rams do have weapons offensively. The Camacho pass up for grabs and incomplete. Wanted Rodriguez. And that's number 11, Joseph Rodriguez. No relation to Jason.
And I think I mentioned it earlier. That's just not the corner you want to pick on if you're going to hit the home run. I don't think he's buying.
You know, the Eastern League's not talked about all that much, but Garfield has made some great runs in the playoffs in recent years and have come close to winning it all. Birmingham got in their way. But it's a good league. Running with it is Rodriguez, and he's thrown down by Fonseca.
You know, Randy, I think the East LA Classic overshadows the Eastern League. Schools with tradition like Bell, who had a famous running back, Dwight Ford, Southgate going back to, you know, the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and then schools like Huntington Park, newer schools like Southeast, who won a city title 20 years ago. But again, they play great hard-nosed football.
And I think your point's well taken about the East LA Classic Garfield Roosevelt because they have the big crowds, 20,000 plus, usually at Weingart Stadium. That's good enough for a first down. That'll move the sticks. But it is fun when you go to the Garfield Roosevelt game. There's really nothing quite like it. The best rivalry west of the Mississippi, and it is in this Eastern League.
I think this is a rivalry. When there's a mile separating the schools,
This is
and
a
that
good
is the East LA Classic, but that's Crenshaw Dorsey, that's Fairfax Hamilton, that's Pally Venice. Those matchups are great. That's why we love this.
In my parts, it was North Hollywood and Grant.
Yes, you talk about a powerhouse program.
Yeah. Rodriguez again, putting the head down and plowing forward. Down to 3.5 minutes left in the third. Southgate clinging to a sizable 42-8 advantage. Randy Rosenblum, Chuck Price on our game of the weekend. Again tomorrow night, Crenshaw visiting Reseda to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers on homecoming for Cleveland.
Who's going to be the LA City Player of the Year in the Open Division this year?
Well, that's a tough one.
Palisades wins the league. It's going to be Jack Thomas.
Yeah. If Garfield wins, it's Reyes. There's really some great teams there that don't have a guy that sticks out right now to be the player of the year. Down goes the quarterback. Pressure from the inside. It came from Edward Castro. Number 11's had a big game tonight. No chance for Camacho.
They bring relentless pressure when all of those guys are standing up there. They read pass and they all come. They just outnumber the line on the offensive side, probably somewhere around 8-6 if they kept the tight end in the block. So it's only a matter of time till they get to him.
Rams have been ram tough tonight. They've really showcased a wonderful ability to make the big play offensively and defensively.
Here's a much better formation for Legacy.
This defense has forced 3 turnovers tonight.
Now they've spread the field. They'll buy some time.
Here's the 4th turnover. Nicholas Quintonia. Quintonia going back the other way. Nicholas Quintonia. Deep into Legacy territory. The 4th turnover. 3 interceptions. 2 by Fonseca, and this one by Quintonia.
They've got a lot of players that make huge plays on both sides of the ball. That's LA City football for you. Players playing both ways. I love this. This is throwback football. We're playing on grass. Players are playing both ways. We've got great officiating. It just smells like high school football. God, I can't say it enough, Randy.
I think you're into it.
I love it. I can't wait for tomorrow night. The Shaw going to Cleveland. The city will represent in the Valley.
Yep.
Watch that.
Coming to the San Fernando Valley are the Crenshaw Cougars. Right up the middle. Another nice run for Thomas Gutierrez, number 4. He's had a very attractive evening.
And not to take anything away from this game right now, but what about the saga with Coach Garrett at Crenshaw? Just absent. There's no definitive word. Nobody wants to talk about it. I mean, that guy's a legend. Tell us what's going on.
300 victories.
Why is he not there? What is that all about? And I can guarantee you, probably not much.
Quick pass. Lewis battling for the goal line. Close, but not quite in, I don't believe. That's a good player. We haven't talked much about Anthony Lewis. He's made some plays.
He's a horse off the edge.
He really is. He gets them another first down. They're closing in on another touchdown, these Rams.
He lines up as a tight end, usually in a 2-point stance. Great body, huge target. Does a lot of great things on the field.
How electrifying is this Ram offense? They're very diversified.
I know this. If you give them the opportunity, they're going to take advantage of it. They've got a lot of kids on that side of the ball that can make plays. That's what makes them special. But the quarterback is different.
He is, and there he goes again. Gonzalez running, trying to get to the goal line. He's already had a spectacular touchdown run. He's running it a couple times tonight.
And then when I talk about Garrett missing and whatever's going on there, it kills my chances to get a quality guy like Kevin Pearson to come back and coach in the city. And Kevin, come on back. This is where you belong.
Hopefully he's okay
Timeout.
there. Did he lose a contact
Legacy.
lens? Is that what happened? You got a microscope or anything we can look for here? Let's hear from our good sponsors. Tonight's LA City Section Football Game of the Week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports medicine and chiropractic. 818-508-6188. Nice crowd on hand, obviously, in this rivalry setting in Southgate, California. Southgate, the Rams, delivering tonight. They're up 42-8, and they're on the edge of another score. Another fake going right up the middle. And making it look easy are the Rams. Another touchdown on this one from Leo Ramirez. And it's 48-8. Rams looking to get to the 50 plateau for the second game in a row. Remember, they put 54 on the Roosevelt Rough Riders.
They're a complete football team. They're not at the level that certain teams are. What stands out to me is how versatile they are, how many options they have on offense, and they have such great big play capability.
And again, it's the running back Thomas Gutierrez trying to get the 2-point conversion, and he did not quite get there, so it remains 48-8. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Just a direct snap to the horse. Quarterback made it look like the ball was snapped over his head. That's their short yardage guy. He's the tank. But we've already given up our nicknames for the day.
Leo Ramirez with that TD. Well, the only intrigue left for Southgate, I would think, offensively, is to see if they can get to 50. They only need 2 more points. We still have better than 8 minutes remaining. And if you're Legacy, you're right in the hunt midway in the second quarter. 8-6, you're ahead. You know, a costly turnover, that pick 6 by Fonseca really turned the game around.
That at 14, I believe at that point it was 14-8.
was.
Southgate had the lead. That pick 6 just turned the entire game around.
And Legacy was driving on that series when Nick Fonseca had the interception, brought it all the way back. Hey, we're going to have a return. That's nice to see. See where Legacy starts on this possession. Have 8 minutes left. You know, it's interesting, too, Chuck. If they had not turned it over, and that's a big if, they've been moving it here on the ground in the second half, the Tigers. But that just turned it over with an interception and a fumble.
One of the things I love about the city section, which I really did not used to love, is that really everybody gets a chance to get to the playoffs in a division really where they belong. And no matter what division a team like Legacy gets into the playoffs, this is stuff that they're going to be able to use all the way through. They're a hard-nosed running team. They might be playing a team that's just a little bit better than them today. I like the fight that they show.
We'll continue to pound the rock, and that will close out the third quarter on another run by Jason Rodriguez. So after 3, 48-8 in Southgate, and the Rams have had a wonderful night. They have taken over. They've taken charge here. Fans on their feet, making a lot of noise. Everybody stays, even though it's become a rout. Nobody's leaving. It's, you know, you're close to your house anyway. Nobody has to go home because the two schools are just a mile or two apart. You can see the lights are flourishing in the background. A gorgeous evening in Southgate. And again, this is a beautiful setting for prep football. It's not a big house.
But it's a great quaint
place.
house.
By the way, let's go back to our star player, Michael Gonzalez, number 1. He has been splendid indeed.
He does it with his arms. He does it with his legs. He's a patient quarterback. He doesn't throw the ball into coverage. He buys as much time as he can. He doesn't get himself into negative yardage situations. I like him a lot. He's a kid who knows how to lead his football team, and he's the perfect fit for their scheme.
That was Mahomes-esque, that throw to Quintonia when he was in the pocket, had to scramble around, ran to his left, threw back to his right, down the field, deep into the coverage to hit Quintonia.
You are the most complimentary play-by-play announcer I have ever heard. That was an unbelievable athletic play. But he punted that ball downfield, and it just happened to fall into the arms of Quintonia.
Well, that
but no.
happened for Mahomes a few
Yeah,
times.
no, he's a great quarterback, and he deserves all the praise. You just have such great words.
Oh, thank you. Camacho showing his toughness and his 1-2. Oh, you'll love it. The quarterback of Legacy, he takes a bow as well, Jaden Camacho.
Well, this is an opportunity for him to finish strong. He's got great legs. He's a good leader. His system doesn't do for him what Southgate's does for their skill players. He'll have to work a little bit harder, but every time he makes a run like that, he shows you how tough he is. He's running up inside like a tailback.
Of course, Mario Ibarra, the head coach who played at Southgate, now coaching against his alma mater.
Love Coach Ibarra, love what he does at this school. He was on the staff of the late Steve Medina, who passed away a couple of years ago, who really did some great stuff here for this program. But Coach Ibarra has carried on the same things that are most important: family, academics, loyalty.
Here's Rodriguez trying to pick up extra yards. He always runs hard.
And when you talk about Ibarra, what he really preaches to his players and how he talks about the academics and things that aren't necessarily football related, but at the end of the day, he knows he's got a role in co-parenting. He spends more time with these kids than anybody does other than the parents themselves. And they look up to him and love him.
See if Legacy can punch it in, but they got to quit with these fumbles, putting the ball on the ground here in the second half. That one recovered by Jason Rodriguez, but not a clean handoff here.
Yeah, you know, we said it last week, Randy. It'd be great for a running team that fumble snaps on a not so much of a regular but often basis. Putting that quarterback under center, getting that exchange down, and really being a hard-nosed team. Putting your quarterback 4 or 5 yards back just, in my opinion, slows down the running game's effectiveness.
I'd like to see him hand it to Michael Smith, that linebacker blocking back. Here's Camacho again running. I do like the fact they know they're out of the game. They're just going back to basics, trying to perfect their running game for the future. Again, they'll have some opportunities in this league. There's no question they will have a good chance, Legacy, against the likes of Bell and Huntington Park.
In a deep league with a lot of competition, they fit right there in the middle of it. They're a team that puts together a perfect game. They could probably upset somebody. Tonight would have been one of those nights, and Garfield would have been the other. Too many turnovers to beat a great football team.
Yeah, they've lost 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and a fumble tonight. But again, the Southgate defense has been very opportunistic. Fakes the pitch. Camacho's on his way. Camacho with the run. Still on his feet. You talk about desire. It doesn't get any better than that.
Love the effort, love the running, love the toughness. That's a quarterback telling his team, don't quit. I'm not quitting.
Jaden Camacho. I mean, that's when you get the respect from your coach and your teammates with a run like that.
Ran out of one tackle, turned the corner, ran out of two tackles right there. Spin move, not bad. Running through a tough linebacker. That was Quintonia.
Finally tackling him was Fonseca. Boy,
Prime on the
time,
tackle.
yeah. Tough to bring down Camacho. See if they can punch it in with under 8 to play.
Camacho punch. I heard that.
Right up the middle goes Jason Rodriguez. Picked up only one.
It is picturesque with the big water tower in the background. And
Yeah, I like the train trestles. That's what I like. Those are old, though. They've been here.
you like the
Long
710 freeway
That's
because
right. They're right.
you
Butted
see-
up against the 710 freeway.
yeah, you are looking at that thing going north, wondering, how do I get on there?
I don't know. I'm going to find out a little later, I guess. Second and goal for the dark shirts of Legacy High School. Tigers looking to punch it in. They need 5 yards. Number 5 trying to get there. Diving forward. Going to bring up third down and goal.
It's crazy how things have changed. You're going to get in your car 15, half hour from now. You're going to talk into your phone and you're going to say, Siri, get me on the 710 North. Siri's going to say, the freeway is closed. Take surface streets home.
I might not make it back for the Cleveland game if I take surface streets home.
Yeah, I'm going to go straight there. I'm excited.
That's going to be fun tomorrow.
Those are two high schools with a pretty solid tradition of running backs. I think Wendell Tyler, DeAnthony Thomas, the guy running the team right now, Terrence Whitehead, wasn't bad.
No, he was great. Went on to Oregon, had a good career.
Wait,
there.
I've got more than that. We after this touchdown run, we'll go back.
Are you calling it ahead of time? You think it's going to be a touchdown run? Quarterback trying to get there, didn't quite get in. I do not believe it's fourth down. Speaking of great running backs, Cleveland has Moyo Odabunmi. Now, Odabunmi,
He has to have a nickname.
well, you'll probably find one for him. You usually do, but he's a guy that already has 6 touchdowns and nearly 700 yards. And Odabunmi is only a junior. All right, here's a fourth down play. What are you calling here, Chuck?
I'm looking at the player substitutions. If they don't get nailed for the delay of game, which refs probably won't call,
How about number 11, Rodriguez? He's been tough tonight.
I'm going to take Camacho on a play action or naked boot.
I say number 11 carries it. Let's see what develops.
Camacho, naked boot.
4th and 2 for a touchdown. It is number 11. Rodriguez. There is a flag down. I don't know if this is going to hold up. It would be a touchdown. They called the play I recommended.
Tomorrow night I'm going to do play-by-play. You need to do the expert
Illegal
color.
formation.
That
On
one
the
is
offense,
taken off the board. You hear
2 men
the
in
call.
backfield, 5-yard penalty. We'll replay 4th down.
How disheartening is that to get the touchdown and have the illegal formation?
I think you need that type of momentum and excitement and accomplishment to walk off this field knowing that, okay, we were still able to punch it in. That's Southgate's starting defense. They're not running against backups. And I think scoring on 4th and 7 is even bigger.
By the way, the clock is running with a 40-point advantage now. So you see it, even though there was a penalty, the clock is still running. With the 40-point margin, we have a running clock. See if they can once again take it in. Camacho handing it off, and that's not going to get the job done. They were waiting for Jason Rodriguez. Just solid defense. Holding their ground was Brandon Giron, the senior captain, number 55.
So going back to running backs, Cleveland High School, Albert Fan, James Bethea, and Matt Clark. 3 pretty good running backs out of that high school. I don't want to put them in the category with Wendell Tyler, DeAnthony Thomas, Terrence Whitehead, current Torrance head coach Raymond Carter, whose father Andre Carter was an all-city running back there, at Crenshaw in 77. Crenshaw is probably running back high along with Banning. Birmingham had a couple good ones.
Yeah, but I go back to the San Fernando days.
They don't get better than Charles White, Anthony Davis.
Sure.
They had a, yep. But you're a Valley guy.
I am a Valley guy.
I'm a city dweller.
I'm surprised you didn't get off on Warren Moon tonight talking about him and Hamilton. I know your ties to the.
Well,
to the
wait
Yankees.
till we do Venice at Hamilton later in
Oh,
the year.
we're going to have to shut your mic off. Lewis, number 6, with a rare carry in this offensive set.
I'm not going to talk about Warren Moon because I don't want to hear you talk about William Hunt.
That will be my counter. It's going against the offense, as you can see. William Hunt, by the way, for those out there who don't know what we're talking about, had a pick 6 that beat Hamilton in the playoffs with William Hunt of North Hollywood. That was a long time ago.
1973, Thanksgiving weekend. The game was played at Birmingham.
In the rain. In the rain at Birmingham. It didn't rain on Southgate's parade tonight, I'll tell you. They were down 8-6, so this is a 42-0 run.
Think about being a high school kid, having a great rivalry game on a Thursday night, getting to wear your jersey to school on a Friday, the day before the weekend. How cool is that?
Not only that, they get to enjoy all the other games around the city. In the old days, nobody knew each other from the different schools. Now everybody knows everyone.
Or they could go home, pick up some Red West pizza, and watch the Crenshaw-Cleveland game tomorrow night.
That's a good idea. 5, Joshua Navarro playing some offense now. We've seen him in the secondary flourish. Down to a final minute 15 of the game. And then we can put it in the books for a Rams victory here at Legacy High School.
I really want to see these teams do well in their respective playoff brackets. Liked what we saw tonight. Love the coaching staff at Legacy. Obviously, the kids at Southgate are extremely versatile, talented group.
Yeah, both Cisco Saldana at Southgate and Mario Ibarra here at Legacy gave us plenty of time to prepare for our show. Very good guys, and you got to root for guys like that who are nice, prepare their teams, and care about their school and their program.
Randy, think about how nice it is for these guys to take time out of their schedule to talk to guys like you and I. We walk up on people, and they're like, who the heck are these guys? And
Who are these guys?
next thing you know is we're talking about blue plate specials at Denny's, and it's easy to become friends with coaches. Coaches are great people.
They really are. Tough job, got a lot of hours, always looking at film. Long nights in the office trying to diagram a play that's going to work. I'll tell you what works. A victory for Southgate. It's over here at Legacy. The final numbers read 48-8 for the Southgate Rams, who improved to 4-2, 2-0 in the Eastern League. Legacy falls to 3-3 and 0-2 in league competition.
The city section just gives you the opportunity for a second life with the playoff format. And I think any team that loses a game at this point in the season has an unbelievable opportunity to use what they learned on film, get it together, rally, and play all the way through November. That's the goal.
As I mentioned, the final 42 points of the game go to Southgate in a resounding victory, a statement win in the Eastern League. This is a football team that figures to see postseason play. And again, you can see why they were good enough to get to a championship game a year ago, only to lose a heartbreaker to Chatsworth. Southgate in the lower division will find a spot, and they'll be dangerous.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I see them in the Division One, which would place them somewhere in between teams number 9 and 24, with open being 1 through 8. And I think they'll cause a lot of teams a lot of headaches. They're a tough team to defend, and they put a lot of pressure on teams.
Chuck, it was a lot of fun. We had a good time tonight here.
Highlight of my week is working with you, Randy. I love these games.
They are fun. So we're going to wrap it up here. Big win, big victory for Southgate And we'll see how they do down the road come playoff time. I want to thank our entire LA36 crew. Congratulations to the Rams. A 48-8 thrashing of Legacy, beating the Tigers on the road. There's one of the great contributors this night, Nick Quintonia. Number 3 had a big night. Take a look, a couple highlights before we say goodnight. Here's the Fonseca pick 6. What reaction he showed there. Break on the ball and takes it the distance. And then the bomb to Quintonia. This was some play. I called it the Patrick Mahomes type play.
And I called it the punt.
Either way, it was 6 points, 6 more for the Rams. And a happy group there. Let's again hear from our sponsors before we say goodnight. Tonight's LA City Section Football Game of the Week is presented by Brett Stye, who is helping showcase student athletes in the city doing the right thing. By Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports medicine and chiropractic. 818-508-6188. 48-8 for the Rams. It's time for me to hit the 710 freeway and head north. For Chuck Price, I'm Randy Rosenblum. So long for now. We'll see you next time on our Game of the Week on LA36.